What's going on? This is Game with Ski, and this is Let's Make Games Episode 3. Choosing your game engine. Funny thing happened because I was going to go a whole separate route with this video, and it was going to be about how awesome the Unity engine is and how I went through all the tutorials and how I made a Unity cheat sheet. But there has been, just like on how Blizzard Entertainment has pretty much destroyed itself as a company, Unity has followed suit. And they have destroyed any credibility they have left. If you know what happened, well, you know. I'm going to give a short rundown. I don't want to sit here and ramble for an hour. So let's get to the gist of it. So here's the Unity website and Unity Essentials, Junior Programmer, and Creative Core. I did all of these tutorials. I did all the Junior Programmer, and I did a few of the Creative Core. And they were pretty good tutorials. You made a couple mini games. I really thought I was getting close to be able to make a complete game. Not quite there yet. The tutorials are still missing some stuff, but they were pretty good. I was pretty happy with them. I learned a lot, but I'm going to have to start over. I don't recommend using Unity. So what happened? Well, Unity sneakily removed their GitHub to track their terms of service changes. Now, why would they want to do something like that? Well, everybody knows why you're doing something like that, because you're going to do some shady shit. It's obvious. It's like comparing it to, oh gosh, where do we want to go on this? What could we compare it to? The perfect thing to compare it to is when you watch the news and when Joe Biden says, "I'm not allowed to say that." You don't have to be political to know there's something fucked up with that statement, okay? I'm not allowed to say. Who's telling you you're not allowed to say that? Well, this is the same thing, okay? They just remove it. They removed it because there was something earlier that happened like years ago. I missed out on that because I wasn't, into it. But they said that they were going to keep a record of their terms of service in GitHub. Okay? Lo and behold, they had a major pricing change. And not only did they have a major pricing change, they made it so that all the pricing is now retroactive and all your terms of service don't matter anymore, because they could come up with the new terms of service any moment that they like and charge you whatever they like at any moment in time they like. And we're supposed to just trust you, bro. So that's what happened. That's the gist of it. And they were going to charge a 20-cent install fee per install of your game, which pretty much assumes that if somebody doesn't like your particular beliefs, that they can put your company under by just running a script to install a game over and over again. That's the very first thing that came to my mind. Like, That's the very first thing. And there's plenty of examples of things like that happening in the real world now. Who knows if somebody does something, what the new big politically correct thing is going to be, hey, who would have thought taking an experimental shot would be a political statement, or siding with Ukraine, or believing in open borders, flooding your country with people that's going to raise your cost of living. But hey, those are all political statements, and those will all cause people to like you or not to like you. And if people don't like you, well, they're just going to install your game over and over and over again until you're bankrupt. Okay? So what do we do about that? Well, we switched to Godot engine. Now, since this literally just happened, and I'm kind of filming this a month in advance because I'm kind of moving on to other things here. We're going to switch to Godot engine is what I'm planning on doing. I'll probably make another video, but I figured I'd cover the whole Unity angle now. But yeah, so the game engine that I'm going to be switching to is going to be Godot, and it's very good for 2D, which is my first couple games are going to be 2D. I think 2D is where everybody should start. I don't think you should start with a 3D game. I think it's a little more complex. And then it can also be used for some simple 3D. And we'll see where it goes. This is open source, so you're not charged at all for using it. You can donate. I plan to donate. If I'm able to complete my first game, then I plan to donate to Godot, and I'll probably donate a large percent of my profits to them. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be easier than Unity. Well, this is pretty good 3D graphics, so that'll be interesting to see if we can come up with something like that. But anyways, yep, so this is Godot. We will try this. And is Unity dead? I believe so. I believe Unity is done after this. I think everybody is jumping ship. I am jumping ship. I am not a financial advisor, but if you decided to buy any stock in Unity, I would probably get rid of that. Where I see Unity going is I see Unity going about the $10, $15 mark. That would be a good spot to buy Unity stock. And who would acquire Unity? Well, Apple is probably the only company that would acquire Unity. Now, what would change? What would change to go back to using Unity? I would say the resignation of the CEO and any board members responsible for that decision. I think that's the only thing that could rectify the situation. Is the CEO, because he's a dirtbag, he's a scumbag. He's the same guy who almost drove EA into the ground. So the CEO is a scumbag, and whatever board members pressured him into doing this, they need to be removed too. So, and I bet you there's going to be a lot of shareholder. There's going to be lawsuits. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits going on. So obviously Unity backtracked because their lawyers were probably like, you can't do this. That's it. I'm done rambling. So choosing our game engine, we're going with Godot. I got nothing for tutorials or anything yet. But next couple videos are going to be simple tutorials on how to use the basic programs that I think we're going to be using to make a simple 3D game. So I will see you next time for the next update.